Hey y'all, peace on earth and love and light to you. So, I'm over my grandmama's house now, and she stays right next door to my mother. And I'm sitting there trying to kind of do the little editing that I do for my videos. It's not much, so I look up and I was like, where did the baby go? So I pretty much knew where she went because she loves to come over here. And my grandmother is usually outside and she knows that, but I don't like her to walk over here by herself. I mean, it's literally like right beside each other, so it's really no big deal. But I don't like her to do that because I don't want her to like startle, like, well, I just have in my head. I feel like since she runs from like the dogs, like my grandmama dogs and my son dogs, since she run from 'em, I feel like maybe one day she can startle them or something and they might take it the wrong way. So I don't know, ma'am, I'm just being paranoid. But um so I come over here and she's sitting right here in this swing all by herself, like she usually do. Even if my grandmama is not outside, she loves to come and sit in this swing and play with her little acorns. Where do they go? She probably have them in her hand. Anyways, which brings me on this subject, and I'm sorry that I don't have that card to show you, but on the last video, just go and look at that card, and it said A Mother's Love. That's the card that I pulled. Before I started on this subject, I just asked Spirit, like, this is what I want to talk about. Israel, no, Grandmama gonna get you. And we got it on camera. Oh, well, that's sweet. See, that's just sweet. Thanks. Okay. Thank you, boo. Thank you. You're so sweet. So, it brings me to this subject, though, because, like, it said A Mother's Love, and I asked Spirit, like, to show me, um, I'm gonna pull a card for the subject that I want to talk about, and this is the subject that I want to talk about. So there was one card in particular that I was kind of hoping that I would get, but I was like, whatever card that you give me that can kind of um put a stamp on this subject, then just let me know if there's even any. And if there's not any, then just let me pull like this bogus card, and then I know, and then I just continue to speak on the subject. So I pulled the Mother's Love card, and I instantly knew what it was saying. So I was like, oh my gosh, we're going deep, huh? So I was like, okay, Spirit wants me to get deep on this subject. And we're at the 3 minutes in, and what I want to talk about is having standards for yourself. And whether you are a man or a woman, because I see it on both sides, that have how we as people, as human beings, will belittle ourselves, or we kind of and that's not even a word that I really want to say. We settle for the less because we don't believe in ourselves enough, and we don't see it enough to know that we can have exactly what we want. And then even if it's not exactly what we want, because some people just say that's just unrealistic, and I really do feel like that, because life doesn't work like that. But that does not mean that you have to settle to the dogs. What I'm saying is, no shade on dogs. I like dogs, okay? No shade. But I'm saying, if you're a human being, you don't want another species, that you ain't gonna be able to relate. You know what I'm saying? And dogs, they lick their butts, and they they do doggish things. So we don't want that. You know what I'm saying when I say a dog. So we don't want that. So but the reason I pulled that Mother's Love card, because I was like, Spirit is saying this is where it comes from. There's actually two cards actually in there. It's a Mother's Love card. It's a child's love card. It's a father's love card. But that mother came out. And I'm just going to say this. I think basically it's because that could mean a mother or a father. But hey, I was only asking for one card. And I mean, you guys know most of the time the mother keeps the children, but I'm just gonna say this is it can be whoever the primary parent is, like just usually what you grow up with, you become accustomed to, and you don't really have that. If you don't see it, then you don't really know better. And I have, isn't this a pretty flower though? Okay, so y'all, let me just show y'all how my grandmama, how she do things around here. Do y'all see these? Beautiful, huh? All around my back, and then they go all the way up there and stuff. That's how she do things. So you see down there, and that's her garden way down there with a lot of fruits and vegetables and all that good stuff. Anyways, and it brought me back to my own life. My mama never been married, um and I know people say I'm a lot like her. I know I am. And I just don't, I'm definitely not going to settle for nothing less than what I want. And I was about to say this earlier. I just remember that my friends, I have friends that have came up and in bad environments, and they say regardless to how they came up, they have basically taught themselves to say, "Hey, my mom settled for this or my dad settled for this, but I'm not going to settle for this." And then I see some friends who just act exactly like their mothers and their fathers, and they say, I don't want to be like my mother and my father, and then they still do those things. But a video that I was seeing, this lady, and there was no women comments on there until I come in it, and then I saw someone else come in there last night, another lady. I really feel like she deleted those comments because I feel like, girl, like there's too many strong women out there to just sit back and not say anything. So I feel like she deleted them. But hey, that's just my opinion. But I don't feel like as a woman, as a human being, you should tell any person, period, to say they standards are too high. And now look, if you're just saying, I really feel like this, if you sit up there and say you're gonna wait on this person that's gonna be rich and they're gonna look like Denzel Washington, or they're gonna look like, give me somebody else that I think is fine. Hugh Jackman, like if you say you want that and you just don't want to settle because like you might be a tourist like me, you just might like the finer things in life, you might like pretty things, then don't do that. Just be aware that it might take you longer to get that because that's not the norm, that's not the average. So be aware of that. Like, and I do, and I don't have to have that. I'm just saying, I don't like to tell people like you cannot have what you want. You go out and you try to get it, and if it don't happen, then maybe you have to swap this standard for another one. You don't have to just exactly lower it. I just don't like that because we all have, it's too much low self-esteem and low confidence situations going on. And what I mean by that is a lot of people are not reaching their full potential because of what society is telling people to do, and I feel like for the most part they are telling people that they have to settle. And then sometimes people do look on TV and they say, I want that life, I want the life of like the housewives of Atlanta. And these people are like, some of them, not everybody, mess up within themselves and living false lives themselves. And if that's how you feel, you'll find that out sooner or later. But I'm saying mock your life however you want to mimic your life. She's scared of Raid. That German Shepherd, his name is Ray. He's a puppy though. I don't even think he's one yet. No, he is one. Anyways, but anyways, like that's, I think that's all I want to say. Y'all get the point, right? Don't settle. And I think a lot of people that preach that settle things. You ain't gonna get this, you ain't gonna get that. They're only making excuses for themselves for accepting these lame behaviors from people, because they know they with these lame people, they treat them in a kind of way, and then they talk to them in a kind of way. And I just don't feel like you should accept a cheater. You should accept someone who calls you out of your name, or you should accept someone. And just like, if I'm straight, I'm heterosexual, and if I'm dating a heterosexual man, I do not want him going to look for a homosexual person, because I feel like that's what you need to go and look for. If you're homosexual, go and find another homosexual person. Because if we're two homosexual couples, then he don't need to go and looking for anybody else outside of the opposite sex. Now, if both of y'all are doing the bisexual thing, then that works for you. But I'm saying, I wouldn't want that in my relationship, and I'm sure if you were in a homosexual relationship, you wouldn't want that either. Because I feel like, well, then I'm not enough for you, and that person would feel like that too, And if that is the case, no, Israel, then you're not ready, and I need you to go and find out and find the person that you're really ready to be with, or just chill for a while if you're not ready. But I don't like when people are homosexual and then they're lying to their partners, knowing that they really bisexual and really still want the other sex. Because some homosexual people have told me that, like, no, I don't want you bi, I just want you with me, and then I can understand it, and then vice versa. But so there's just no excuse, and I don't feel like we should be accepting that as a people, and we should be teaching our children that, the love of a mother, the love of a parent, you guys, we're only doing the best that we can do. So, with that being said, is with every choice that you make, and I was saying this too, a lot of this comes from, a lot of times people are afraid to be by themselves. And I was like, well, if you're afraid to be by yourself, when your child is becoming of age and you're trying to get them in their own room, like, you might as well not even do that, because you can't tell them there's nothing to be afraid of. Sleep in your own room, sleep in your own bed, when you can't even do it yourself. So we have to look within and see what it is that makes us afraid to be alone. It's okay if you're introverted, because I'm like that too, but when you're afraid to be alone, I think we have to sit down, do some soul searching, and see what that actually is. But keep your standards. That's what I want to say. Keep your standards. What did you step on, boo boo? You stepped on the rock. It's gonna be okay, okay? This video is over. Bye, y'all. Tell the people bye, boo. Because she has no clue when I say that. She has no clue when I say that. And sometimes she still say bye. Say bye, bye, boo. Okay.